Hi, this is Steve. Welcome to episode 3 of my model train build. Okay, so today we're going to talk a little bit about some accessories, but before that, I wanted to talk about scale. You'll hear about scale and gauge. They're not really the same thing. The gauge would be the actual width of the track. How far apart is each rail? Um, Whereas so with the gauge, that's how big the truck has to be, and what it runs on. All right. With the scale, it's a numerical scale. So HO scale is 1 to 87. So what that means is that in real life, so if you had say you had a box car that was 1 foot long, then in real life it would be 87 feet long. Okay, now this is, I don't know, maybe 8 inches or something, maybe 7 inches. So that would work out roughly to the standard 50, 51 foot, whatever it is. So the other really popular scale is N scale. It's about half the size of HO scale. At I believe it's 1 to 160. N scale is great if you want to have a lot of trains in a limited space, because they are smaller. They're a little more expensive because of that, but if that's what you need, that's what you need. I went with HO scale because I'm an old guy, and dealing with delicate, tiny things isn't so easy for me anymore. So if you get too small, painting things becomes difficult. Changing out parts, there's all sorts of different things. So that's one thing you want to think about before you go ahead and purchase it. The other thing about HO scale is there's more stuff. So you have more options on accessories and stuff that you can buy. So moving on then to accessories. Of course, there's all sorts of things you can get. You can get trucks and cars and things, all kinds of stuff like that. So you just want to make sure it's the right scale. You can order it from your hobby store. It'll say HO scale. Or if you get it from another kind of hobby store that it's not particularly railroad oriented, you want something along the lines of 182 or 187. 187 would be an ideal. So, okay, so moving on to accessories. Okay, so I mentioned before that what I did was, rather than thinking about how I was going to plan my layout track-wise, I went with what kind of modeling and scenery would I like to have. So now, all of this depends on your skill level. A lot of guys, the pros, they scratch build stuff. And there is a lot of stuff you can scratch build out of cardboard, balsa wood, even things like this skewer. You can make fence posts out of this, or you can even have it as like a gate. So there's all kinds of stuff, and one of the things I've been so happy about is that doing this has really fired up my imagination. And so I find myself looking at, I can use that for that or whatever. So if you want to move beyond just the basic oval and really move from a toy to a hobby and a craft, then you're going to want accessories. Accessories include turnouts, or often called switches, and models. Models can be made of wood, resin, they can be laser cut, or polystyrene. I grew up with polystyrene, so that's what I'm sticking with. Okay, so the first thing I did, excuse me, after I ordered my set, was I went looking for stuff to uh, to build, to add to it. The first thing I saw was this. Okay, this is Walthers Cornerstone. Okay, and Walthers has great stuff. Whether it's plastic models, locomotives, rolling stock. I got this one is a real beauty. Got that from Walthers, the Santa Fe 2092, and the Norfolk Southern Switcher. And they're both really nice. As you can see, there's plenty of detail there. Santa Fe cost about $106, and Norfolk Southern was about $90. So, and they're both comparable in quality to the one that came with the set. So I'm really pleased about what I paid for that. Okay, so I folded this up for easy store. So anyways, so here it is. The Walthers Cornerstone Diamond Coal Corporation. Okay. Now this is a big kit. All right. Your buildings are going to stand, yay high. You can see how they over the rails here, and they're large buildings too. Okay. Sorry about the angle. Okay, there we go. Okay. So if you're just starting out and you never built a model before, don't try. Okay. I got started on it, and I quickly realized that I'd better practice on some other things before I attack that. Another one I bought, another one, where is it? Here it is. Okay. Again, this is Walther's Cornerstone line, Sawmill Outbuildings. Okay. That's a little smaller than the coal mine, or the coal tipple. But not much. As you can see, there's there's here and here. The shed doesn't come with it, and then the wood chipper over here, and then the sawmill way at the back. Okay, so that's going to fill up some space, and it's going to take some time. So, but I designed my layout around these things, so it's going to kind of be a rural, semi-industrial, if you want to put it that way. Okay, and then I got this. I was hunting around for other stuff, and I saw this. This is from Lifelike Trains. From what I see here, it's good quality stuff. Okay, so, but it's a small model that I'm currently working on, and relatively simple. So, a good opportunity for to develop my skills before I move on to something a little more complicated. As I said, there's all sorts of accessories and things you can get. But you can also scratch build things. So I mentioned before I was going to go over, some of the mistakes I've made. One of the mistakes I made was ordering this. It's like it's a container, that would go on a flat car or on a flatbed truck. Okay. Square plastic box. Nothing fancy with detailing. It's painted. $22 Canadian. Okay, I could make this out of cardboard. All right, so just be careful. Don't get too excited. I'm not going to return this because I purchased it in good faith. But yeah, just watch out for stuff like that. Okay. Okay, so that's it for this episode. And we'll see you next time with more fun and games. And maybe we'll talk a little bit more about accessories and scenery. See you next time.